that you please don't talk and you give her your attention while you're eating. Go ahead and eat, enjoy it. I hope the food's good. We like to be able to feed our people when you take the time to be with us. So anyways, turn it over to Katrina.
Alrighty. Hey guys, thanks for being here today. We've got a lot of material we need to go over, and I know you all are excited to start your weekend. So if we can get through it all, you guys can get out of here and start your Friday night into Saturday. We have Cazito cookies over here on the bar. Everybody is welcome to grab a cookie today. There's several different flavors over there, so don't forget to get those cookies. Those are awfully good. I'm going to start out with 2 awards that we've not done this before, but I feel like this is something we're going to start doing. At the end of every year, I get a report from Sam Sarah, who is the safest drivers that we have. And they go in order. Yeah. They tell us how many miles we've driven, how many violations we've had, what our MPG is, which is 6.4 across the board for everybody. That's not too bad. I remember back in the day they were 4.5, 4.5, and 5.0. So the 2 safest drivers that we have one in Eagle and we have one in Peregrine. Okay? So I want these 2 people, when I call them up here, come on up here, okay? Kenny Freeman and Amy.
Kenny.
Here, Amy. Thank you. And you all may not know it, but Kenny's been driving for 17 plus years. He's managed to get through all the bumps and everything that you guys have been through, you know, when you're first starting out. And you hang in there and you're safe, you'll be like Kenny getting ready to retire at a young age.
1 year to go.
That's right, 1 year to go.
1 year. I had like 3 months.
No, June is 24th.
You got a lot of good times left.
You're welcome, thank you. Thanks for being safe out there. Appreciate that. Also, you all might not know, but Amy has been here since the beginning of time. She was the 3rd over-the-road driver that was hired. She's been driving for 8.5 years. So when she gives you a little bit of advice, you might want to take it because she is the safest one in the fleet on our side. And it's very important. She is a mother hen. She will help you with anything you ask. You know, your logs, your pre-trips, the credentials for the truck and everything. So please, when she offers to help, just be a sponge and take everything in that she tells you. She's not going to tell you anything wrong. She's the anchor of this fleet. If it's 55, she's doing 50. If it's 70, she's doing 65. Because why, Amy?
Is that my grandma?
You're a grandma. No, you're not. She doesn't want to get pulled over. She doesn't want to get pulled over. She doesn't have to have those conversations with the police. So keep that in mind. So we're going to go over some housekeeping announcements because we do need to tidy up the ship. You're all ship. You know, your truck is your ship. That's your office. It's your condo for the week. So make sure you clean it out. Those guys, all of you that are still seating, if you pack it in, whether it's a cup, food wrappers, whatever, take it back out, please, because the next guy may be a neat freak, and you just made his day horrible, okay? So, and if the neat guy makes your day horrible, then call me. So, but please, if you pack garbage in, take it out. The over-the-road drivers, I know some of you have switched from truck to truck to truck. When you do that, for whatever reason, it could be that it's going in the shop and it's going to be there for 100 years, or whatever. When you get out of the truck, take all your belongings and wipe it down a little bit, just so that, you know, it's a little bit more presentable to the next person. I do have a detail company that comes in and does this. When I can get them in here between drivers, I get the trucks detailed before the next one goes in, just to make sure that everything is clean and put away and it's presentable. We had a driver with us. He's not with us any longer, and I'm telling you, it's the worst truck I've ever, well, second to the worst truck I've ever seen in my life. It was horrible. They took pictures of it. It's out there. It's in social media. Thank God they didn't say, this is the Peregrine Company's truck, you know. They just kept it to the inside of the cab, and it was gross. It was gross. Huh?
No.
No,
Wheeler?
no, that's so long ago, no.
Is that the one I called you about?
He's been gone for, how long has he been gone now, Tim?
Happened last year.
Yeah, it happened last year.
Yeah, that's the one
So it was just disgusting. Yeah, you all may not know it, but sometimes over the weekends, you know, I do little spot checks. I may be out riding around, I got time to kill, I may stop at Penske and look at a truck, or I may look at one over at Ryder Jeffersonville, or Penske and Jeffersonville, or whatever. We have keys to all the trucks. And if I pull up on a lot and I see your truck is dirty and you've never washed it, then rest assured you're gonna hear from me. I'm gonna say, get the truck washed. Because you going through a Blue Beacon, and I know it's inconvenient, I have to sit in line. It's gonna make me late for getting off on Friday for the weekend. I don't wanna hear it. Get a bath for that truck, please. Please, get it clean. And nothing on the dash. If I see a truck that's got paper and cups and stuff on the dash, I'll have it come apart.
That's a DOT violation.
Yes, it is. And they'll pull you over and find plenty of things to write you up for. So don't do that, okay? We're gonna talk about paperwork here for just a second. Amy is with Peregrine and Lou is with Eagle. Both of these ladies are having a hard time with the paperwork that's getting sent to them, okay? Lou is getting the majority of your all's paperwork in, which is great. The Ecogistics paperwork, she tells me you get 6 pages to that, and you all may send 1, 2, 3, and not all of them. She has to have all of them, and she has to have nothing cut off of that paper. You have to have everything in your vision of, that's on that paper, or they won't pay.
Yeah, boss.
Yeah, they kick it back and they're like, I'm not paying this because I can't see that one corner. Even though it doesn't have anything on there, they can refuse to pay it. So we don't want to give those customers that option to not pay for the loads that you all have worked hard on, okay? So make sure you do that. Amy's paperwork, some of you guys are sending 5 loads all in one scan. Please don't. Each load per scan, please, so that she can divide them out. She doesn't have to look through it and say, well, this BOL down here belongs to this first load, and I don't have one for the second load, but I got one for the 4th load, that's over here. You know, it's very time consuming. She's probably billing close to 1,000 loads a month. That's a lot for one person. And it's unfair to make her chase down paperwork when you had it in your hand and you could have done it, okay? So make sure you get all that taken care of. The cam scanners. Missy has been sending things in and she thought they went through. Every month you need to clear out your old scans, okay? Keep, like this is March, keep February's, anything from January back, get rid of them, delete them. That gets in the way of sending out new paperwork. It just won't go. You think it's going, you're doing your job, and all of a sudden you get a phone call and you haven't sent in 2 weeks, and you're like, oh my goodness, I've been sending them, but they don't go through because of that, okay? So get rid of the old scans that you don't need anymore. Let's see here. The crank handles for these Conestogas. My goodness gracious. If we could have planted all the ones we lost, we'd have a forest. Don't put them on the trailers. They will not ride there. They'll slide out. You'll think it slides out and the tree gets a phone call. Well, my windshield's busted out. From what? And they send me a picture of the crank handle. That's not a good situation, okay? So make sure y'all got cubbies, all you over the road drivers have got cubbies, that little door there by your door to get in the truck, open it up, slide in there, lock it back. That way you don't ever lose it, you won't have a problem with it sliding out of the trailer. They cost anywhere from $80 to $175 every time we have to replace them. Luckily Extreme keeps some on hand for us because they know that that's our MO. We're gonna lose them. And they know we're easy money.
Need to hold the drivers accountable for it.
I agree.
That's what needs to happen.
I know, I agree. You know, I know it's not an on-purpose thing. I hope it's not an on-purpose thing. But if I lose my handle, I won't have to work. I can get off early this week, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't work that way. You know, if you've got another load to take, we're gonna find a way, but it makes Tim, Chris, and myself jump through a hoop because you lost your crank handle, okay? I go over this in every meeting, and one of these days you guys are gonna understand. I know it's gonna sink in, it's gonna be like breathing, okay? Distracted driving. Do not ever have a handheld device in your hand while you're driving. I don't want you recording the highway while you're going, I'm doing that. If there's something that happens in front of you, call me, we'll pull a clip. Stan is one of them. Stan, what was that flew down and almost hit you?
Oh, a tree came down across the Grange Road.
Yeah, well, no, but this was like a year ago. Was it an eagle or a big old owl?
An eagle, yeah.
He had an eagle that swooped down in front of his truck. And he called immediately and told Tim, he's like, or Chris, he says, man, you gotta go back and pull that. That was awesome. So we did. We pulled it, and it is pretty awesome. But I would have flinched. You know, he looked like he was gonna hit the truck. He was big. He's beautiful. So that's, you know, that's a distracted driving. Don't be reaching for your phone and pulling it out and say you want to take a picture of it, okay? We got you. We got that part, okay? What are some examples of distracted driving, Stan?
I don't know, reaching for a drink.
Yep, that's right. Okay. Sean?
Rubbernecking.
Rubbernecking.
What's that?
Another accident or something else going on the side of the highway, someone broke down, whatever, and everything's slowed down, you wanna sit there and stare at what's going on instead of just keeping traffic moving.
That's exactly right.
And keep it moving.
That's exactly right. Hey, Brian, what do you think is distracted driving?
Talking on the phone.
There you go. So, if it's anything that's gonna take your eyes away from the road for more than a second, don't do it. I'm gonna touch on something. This person does no longer work with us. But it's horrible what happened to them. The news got back to me and I just shake my head. This driver was cleaning the inside of their windshield while driving down the highway. Now, is that distracted driving? Definitely. That person ended up running into the median and flattened every tire on truck and trailer. This person had not been with that company very long. I don't know why anybody would want to be cleaning the windshield while you're driving. You know, if you've got a bug in front of you that's driving you that crazy, then get off the road and get it cleaned and get on about your day. You know, the inside, the inside.
Issue, the truck did not have any way to defrost the truck.
Yeah. So it's horrible.
Or you free trip anyway.
Yeah, it's horrible. But at that point, if it's that bad, we need to be off the road and calling somebody saying, hey, I don't have a defroster. I can't see through my windshield. I don't want you going through driving down the highway trying to get it defrosted. It's not good for you or anybody else.
Is
So,
that why he was doing it?
huh?
Is that why he was doing it, cause the defrost didn't work?
That's, yes. So if it's not working, we need to know it's not working so we can get it repaired, get you out of that truck, cause it's definitely not safe. So, keep that in mind. Pre and post trips. I can't tell you how important these are. And in your all's package, you've got some pictures of tires. Everybody got these tires?
Are those our tires?
Yes, those are our tires.
Or,
It is.
No, we're all like,
I thought maybe there were pictures off the internet, I'm like, I was hoping there were pictures off the internet.
No,
It's horrible.
no.
where's my tire?
These are our tires. You can have mine, Melinda, if you want.
No, my bubble isn't in here.
No, your bubble's not in there.
That was cool.
That was cool. But
I mean, I got it fixed.
do you all think any of these are roadworthy? Any of them?
One of those was here when I.
Hey, Terry, do you think these are roadworthy?
I don't know about that.
See?
What?
Terry tells me all the time, Trina, these tires gotta be replaced. I can do this slow, but it's gotta go in the shop, we gotta get them replaced. I'm very thankful when somebody tells me they've got a problem with a tire and they need it replaced. I'd rather replace them than have you all broke down on the road for 4 hours. And it never happens at a convenient time. It's either early morning when the shops are not open, or it's late at night and I'm scrambling to try to find somebody. And I'll scramble and I'll find somebody and get it done. But it just delays your day a lot longer, okay? So make sure you're doing your pre and post trips. In your packet, you've got a little package here that says 7 pre and post trip inspection essentials. You all should be doing this every day. Every day you should be doing this. You all should be spending 15 minutes a day doing a pre or post. I'm not gonna make you do both, but you need to do one.
You have to do
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
both. DOT requires it.
you've gotta do them. And I would like you all once a week to do a good, thorough one. Take your time, crawl under that trailer if you're able to. Really do a good pre or post trip.
My concern is, I guarantee you, if we do a thorough pre-trip, post-trip, whatever, on the trailers, something is wrong with everything. You
I
have
know.
to kind of work with a little bit.
You get out of the shop and.
But like, if it makes it inoperable, then that's when you just really need to,
I need to know when lights are out. Nobody should be running around with lights out. Brakes adjustment, everybody should be getting their brakes adjusted on these trucks, or these trailers regularly,
They should be adjusting themselves.
if they know how. If they know how. I don't know how.
They should automatically adjust.
So, sometimes they just don't know how to adjust them or what's supposed to be there. So look it up. See what your measurements are supposed to be,
tighten it all the way, quarter turn out,
okay?
90-degree turn.
The second pre-trip inspection form that you have, it's a lengthy form, it's got a lot of pages to it. This is what JCTC uses to teach their students to pass a pre or post trip, to get their license. So everybody should be looking at this and studying it, okay? I don't expect you to do this every day, but once a week I think it'd be good practice to really look at them, okay? I don't wanna hear any excuses. Oh, it was raining. I didn't have time, I was late for my load. Then you should have started earlier. I don't wanna hear any excuses why you're not doing it. I don't want a phone call saying, Katrina, I need a tire, my tread's bad. Well, that tread was bad the day before, and the day before, and the day before. Now, retreads do pop off, and I'll give you slack on that. But if you've got a tire that recap is not coming off of, and you've worn it down to the nub like that picture I've showed you, it's very alarming to me that you feel you're safe running around on baloney skins. Because you're not. Either you're gonna have an accident and kill yourself, or you could wipe out a whole entire family. What if you hit a car that had 2 infants in there, and the babies died? What if that was your family? And that's what you all need to be thinking about every time you do a pre or post trip. Is this vehicle gonna get me there safely? Is it safe to put on the road? If it's not, I expect a phone call. I expect a phone call. Yes, Missy?
I didn't do a pre-trip one time, and I'm only telling this because I'm telling you how important it is. My tire was flat and I didn't even know. I rode all the way to Indiana from Eagle with a flat tire.
Right.
One of these guys pointed it out to me when I was getting loaded, and I never even knew. So I guess that's how important it is to do that.
It is.
I was just scanning and not.
No, everybody in here has got a tire gauge in their boot. I don't know how they have it, but they can kick that tire and get the exact reading off of that boot as what tire pressure is. Now, I know they sound different. It's because everybody kicks their tires. Nobody takes a tire gauge to it. They just kick it. They know what they think full sounds like. So, keep that in mind. Pre and post trips, I don't want an excuse. I want it done. I want to be told when something's not right so we can get it fixed, okay? In your packet, you're also going to have 5 ways to prevent distracted driving. I'll leave that up to you all too. They don't have that?
That's the one we didn't get copies of.
Do they have this one for the summertime?
Did you put it in there?
read for yourself at home, okay? Hey, guys. Let's stay focused so we can get out of here, okay? Another reason for doing your pre and post trips is, Eagle nor Peregrine have an overabundance of trailers sitting on an empty lot waiting for y'all to borrow one because yours is in the shop. Landon has been pulling a trailer he doesn't like at all because his has been in the shop. His is in the shop for just a light. But if he kept that, it had a short in there. Corey's frowning at me. There was a short in the wiring. So he tried to get it fixed, and then he came in. I said, drop it, let's get it fixed, take this other one, go get your load. Sometimes we have to do that because it's just, you know, it's critical to get these loads loaded when we have appointment times, because we know how hard they are to get, okay? So just keep in mind that if you don't do your pre and post trips and you let that trailer just fall down around its lug nuts, then you might be pulling a trailer you don't like, or you may not be pulling anything at all if all of them are in the shop. And this year alone, I've had more trailers in the shop for an extended period of time than I have ever since I've been here. They can't get parts, they can't get workers, they can't get stuff fixed. Corey has had one in the shop since September or June? September. We still don't have it fixed. Because we're still waiting on all the parts to come in to replace it, okay? Okay. Okay, guys. Stay focused here, please. Get this over with. I'm already yammering.
Sorry.
Okay, in your packet, you see a lovely DOT inspection. I'm ashamed to even have anybody in our fleet that qualified for so many points. It's not when you get 100, you get an A. It's not, it's the opposite. You completely fail. These points here, 82 points against him and us. All of this was preventable by doing a pre-trip or post-trip and getting it fixed when he saw something. It's unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Okay? In this packet, you'll see behind there, back in October, I don't know if Eagle has it or not, Peregrine does. Peregrine got a warning from DOT in Washington. God, I love those people. You think I'm on your back? They're on my back. Giving us a warning for hours of service. Nobody should have an hours of service violation. Nobody. That's not acceptable either. If you got a problem with your logs or you don't know how to do something, you better be on the phone with me and let's get it done. Okay? Not acceptable. You also got a copy of what is a PSP report. This is kind of like your DAC report. Everybody says, oh, that's going to go on my DAC. What this is, every inspection violation that you've had pulled over is going to be on here. And if you look at this one, there's one on here from 2020. And then the most recent one from February of this year is on there. And it lists everything again. That's how quick it gets on your record. Okay? This record is ran by every trucking company. When they do a background check, if you leave us, they're going to pull this up, they're going to question you. Why did you get so many violations? And that company's probably going to ask me, why did they get so many violations? Because I didn't get a good answer. Well, this is public record. This is public record. So, I can tell them this is public record. He didn't do a pre-trip. Even though it's very plain right there that he did not. So, when I do the evaluations, I've done Corey's, that you get one of these and your MVR as to what's on your record. So you're going to start seeing these every year. Okay, I run them at the first of the year to see how you guys have been doing. Do you have something on your record? Okay, I want you to be aware of it. I want you to see what is hanging out there that you got a violation for. Because if you leave us, you're gonna have to explain this. You need to know you've got this so you're not blindsided, okay? So, keep that in mind. So we've done that. All those violations stay on your record for 3 years. So remember that if you're gonna get pulled over and you're gonna get a bunch of violations, it's gonna stick with you, okay? If there's something that you're given and it's not a warning, I can fight it. It's very hard to fight the warnings, and the police are only giving out warnings because they know we can't do anything about it. You don't get a ticket, hey, I need to get a ticket, they just write me some violations, I'm good to go. No, you're not. All that's going on your record is going on ours. When our score gets so high, then Tim and Chris have to deal with the fact that it's been run up so high. And there's brokers that will not let us haul their freight because our safety score is so bad. It gets bad enough, they're gonna come knocking on the door and they're gonna come in and do an audit. And they pick and choose who they wanna audit. I'm required to hand over your file to see what's in there. I'm required to. I can't try to talk them out of it. I've already been through 2 audits, one with Eagle when they first started, one with Peregrine because somebody was disgruntled. Luckily, we passed them both. So,
Did our points drop? I know 6 months ago, we were pretty high.
we've had something fall
Really
off.
high.
We had something fall off in February that helped us a lot. We've got some more that's supposed to fall off, March, so they should be coming off. And I think May or June, we've got some more to come off. So, we're going to be okay, but please don't add to it. Don't add to it.
My
No.
just ask is, when I know when we go through the scales, all that stuff that adds up, whether you got pre-pass or not, that
Mhm.
goes into your company's name, so that's how you get called.
Yeah, the pre-pass is pulled on our safety score. When we first did this, we were 5% likely that we'd get pulled in because we had such a great safety score. That's phenomenal. Then I hear people, my pre-pass is not working, I'm getting pulled in at every way station. Yeah, you are. Because somebody in the fleet has messed up drastically and you all are gonna have to pay for it.
Oh,
So-
that's what that, I've been wondering why it ain't been working.
It's working, unfortunately. It's when somebody screws up, it goes off our safety score, both companies, so. You got some, we're gonna go into logs, you all got some of these in there, okay? And this is a simple mistake, guys. Y'all paying attention, please. This is logs. I can't tell you how passionate I am about this. This is your life. When you leave yourself on duty, it carries over to the next day, and you get all these violations. Now, I know, I don't have Stevie Wonder driving the truck, and he can't see his logs. I know we don't. You see the comments, you're in violation. I've had drivers comment, I don't have any hours to drive. That's why. You need to go back and look in your logs. See what you can fix. When you've left yourself on duty, you can edit that. Go back to that starting point, hit edit, move it where it needs to be. I was supposed to be in a sleeper bunk. I don't know why I'm on duty. You can correct that without me. You don't need me for that. And this is what causes the majority of our violations. When you get finished at the end of the day or the end of the week, don't just go off duty, log out completely. Because if Penske or Ryder gets in your trucks and they move it, it's hitting your drive. And it's gonna mess up your week. So go off duty completely, log out of it, completely.
Trina, there's times that even if you're logged completely out of your system, because I do it every night.
Yeah.
As a local driver, I log completely out. Couldn't tell you the number of times I've come in the next morning and it's got me on duty.
Yeah.
Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
I can't explain it,
It-
but at least you can fix it.
Huh?
At least you can fix
Yeah,
it.
I was able to edit it, you know,
Yeah.
back to where I was able to, you know,
Right.
able to drive. But there's
Right.
some guys that come up to me like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm telling them.
Yeah.
But you
As
can't.
long as you're on duty, you're on drive, there ain't no difference.
No,
If you're not slip seating though, and it's your truck, you can pin that truck to your phone, and unless it is physically moved, no one can log into your truck. Cause I was having that issue when I first started, because we had a very similar Eagle truck, and it would get sometimes logged in as mine. So pin it to your truck. There's an option in the settings if it's yours. If it's a slip seat, that won't work.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Well, I figured out what was happening on mine when I was between trucks. And I think it was truck 61 wasn't in the system.
Mhm.
Or 60,
Whichever one it was.
in there. So I was just logging in as 62 or whatever it
Mhm.
was, cause I think, well, that truck's not being used. Well, when the mechanics were messing with it, it was kicking me into driving.
Yeah, you have to use what truck you're in.
Yeah.
And if you've gotten a new truck and I have failed to put it in the system, you need to call me and say, Katrina, I can't find my truck to do my logs.
Somebody kept signing it into my truck.
Yes.
Me out today.
The Eagle trucks have an E on the end of them. The Peregrine trucks do not. These trucks are labeled the same. So keep that in mind. All Eagle trucks have an E behind it. All the Peregrines do not. It's just truck 36 or truck 38. Okay?
Question.
Mhm.
Is there a booklet or something that explains what's on your phone, what you're trying to do?
Yes, there's videos.
Yeah, even YouTube over.
Okay.
I thought we sent those to you. If not, we'll make a note, Elena, and let's make sure he gets those videos. There's some of them are only 2 or 3 minutes long, so it's not, you know, a long, boring one. I think there's 1 or 2 that might be a little bit longer, but you know, it's something to watch. You need to watch it and hang on to those. Sam Sarah luckily has put all their training videos on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and put Sam Sarah ELD training, and they'll all pop up, and you can watch any one you want.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's great that they're there. So, the unassigned driving, there's no creeping. Remember, there is no creeping. You gotta tell that truck what you're doing. You gotta log into the ELD and say, okay, I'm off duty, I'm gonna go to yard move, because I don't wanna screw up my brake, or PC, and tell it what you're doing. You just automatically start moving that truck, it's gonna put you in drive whether you wanna be or not. Sometimes you don't wanna be. I get phone calls all the time. My logs got messed up while I was on break. Well, what did you do? I creeped up to the gas station, the fuel pump, and put me in drive, and I was trying to get parked for my break, and there you have it. So yard move and PC, when you're on yards to get loaded or unloaded, or you're trying to get fuel while you're on a break, use yard move or use PC. As long as you're not going anywhere after that.
I tried using yard move once and it kicked it into drive and screwed my entire.
Well, that's the first I've heard of that. You should have called me.
I
It's
think
funny.
I did call you, you had to fix it.
Yeah.
Because I had tried to use yard move.
Only thing I can do is same thing as you can do is call Sam Sarah and say, why did this do this? When I put it in yard move, and they'll have an explanation for it. And it could be something very simple in the very beginning and say, hey, you know, you make sure you completely do this before you try to do that. Okay?
I have that problem on my truck. I always drop an ideal lease in Poplar Level Road
Mhm.
for repair, and try to sign yard movement and don't let me.
Well, it should, because everybody's got yard move and everybody's got PC. So, Lena, write that down. Let's look at Alex's credentials. Look at Stan's credentials also.
Because it's in the shop. You can use a PC or
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Some of you guys have these copies in your packet. I want you to look at these. It tells you how many unassigned segments. At the very top, it says we have 130 hours and 55 minutes of unassigned driving. Good Lord, we should never have anything up there, let alone 130 hours. It's insane. 7,113 miles that we drove unassigned. This is something that DOT is cracking down on. They're gonna find this in your logs and they're gonna give you a violation. They're looking for this right now.
So how do we prevent this?
Put yourself in the duty that you're supposed to be in. When you start your truck, you tell your log, I'm going to drive. And you put drive before you move the truck. There's no creeping under 5 miles an hour. There's none. There's none. None. Everybody says, well, so-and-so told me this, they lied to you, because it doesn't exist.
As soon as it moves, it's tracked.
Exactly. It's plugged into the brain. As soon as the wheels start moving, the brain says, oh, we're moving, and it tells the tracker, which tells the ELD, and there you are.
Thanks for telling me.
So be careful with that, okay? The computers are only as smart as we tell them what to do. So we gotta be smarter than them. All right? So I gave you some of these just as references so you can see how it can happen. When you see unassigned driving on your log, that's why. That's because Elena goes through and whoever was in that truck at that time, she assigns it to them.
Even though the mechanics move your truck, that goes on the other side?
No, if the mechanic moves your truck and you see it, you should be calling me so I can fix it.
Man, it's always, every time.
And as long as you log out completely, at the end of your day, you won't have that problem.
No, that's incorrect. So I sign out every day when I park my truck and ride.
You go all the way back out to the very beginning where you have to put your
I
name
go
and your
off
number.
duty and sign out. Yeah, it closes the
Okay.
app out, it's no longer running. If a mechanic gets in my truck and moves it, just from where I parked in the shop, it tells me what time they moved it, and it tells me how long it was moved. And I'll see when they pulled it into the shop, and I'll see when they pulled it out. I'll have to select it, and I'll have to tell it it's not mine. So it assigns it to the truck, but it don't assign it to the driver. You have to do something.
If you call me when that happens, I'll fix it.
I don't need you to fix it.
Right.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
it's not
But-
mine, it's still-
I just select,
Go ahead, Gary.
well, I selected it's not mine. You can either say that it's yours, or you can say that it's not.
Does it show on your log to ignore that drive time?
No.
No, it'll-
No,
it'll
you
assign to
selected
the
it's
truck.
not mine.
Right.
It disappears.
and
Does it
goes-
disappear?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
disappears.
so we'll find it in the truck record.
Okay,
Down.
that's good to know too. That's somebody's doing something right, instead of just leaving it and driving on.
That's what I do when I don't let me use a jar rule, I put it on mine. And
Yeah, if you
it's
say
okay.
it's yours, it'll go back and backtrack and drive time and mess it up.
That's you all managing your logs like you're supposed to. And I'm glad to see that some of you all are doing it. I can tell you some are not, because I get phone call after phone call. Well, the shop moved my truck. What do I do now? Some of you all are doing the right thing, and some of them are not. So you all saying that you're all able to fix it makes me very happy that you can fix it. Because other people need to be fixing their logs. Instead of saying, this is not right, okay? Corey, you're next. After we get through with all this, guys, I want you to stay seated. We are gonna give out some door prizes. So, Tim's gonna be up after Corey, and then we're gonna go to door prizes, and then you guys are dismissed after that, okay? So, listen to what Corey's got to say. He's got some important stuff too.
So let's cover one last thing on post-trip and, pre-trips is do a good visual inspection of your trailer. Because we've had a lot of issues with stuff being broken that's not getting caught on pre-trips and post-trips. But we're finding out in the middle of the day about it. Because everyone knows it's taking a long time to get trailers back. So if we could catch this before it actually becomes a bigger problem, it's a lot easier to get that fixed. Because we've had issues with some axles. We've had two issues with axles.
We have.
And this last one, the axle's having to get taken off the trailer and having to get re-welded. So, again, just do a good visual of your truck. Even if you're not a mechanic, you can tell something's broken. You know, most guys can. You know, I know the older guys like Dave, Brian guys, Kenny guys who's been driving a long time. I know you guys are good. Your brake, you know, just looking at stuff, you can tell. Some of the newer drivers don't have that experience nor the, you know, maintenance background that they're gonna catch a lot of that. But if your brakes are going out, we need to know so we can shut that truck down. Because we had another accident where we find out after the fact that this guy almost flew through a truck stop because he couldn't stop his truck. That's how bad it was. I don't know how you made it to the customer that way with a load on it, but at
That's-
what point do you gonna say, I need to get my brakes replaced or
Yeah.
fixed?
That's very scary,
So,
very scary.
go to your packet where you see this picture right here. This is from, probably
How long have you been on there?
3,
2, 3?
Gary, how long you been here?
Me? 11 months.
I was waiting for him.
I think this happened 3 or 4 years ago,
Yeah.
4 years ago.
I was told it was last season.
Nah,
Before I
he
left.
hasn't been with us.
No, he's
When was
been-
he with us?
Last summer sounded good.
Yeah, no.
So-
It's been a long time since he was here.
What looks wrong in that picture, everybody?
Everything?
No change.
Everything, right? So, you see the way those coils are laying on the deck of that trailer right now? That's the way that driver brought it back to our plant. So he knew he tipped the load and brought it back just like this. So
Don't let that be you. Please,
that was
do not
that
let
driver's
that
last
be
day
you.
at work.
Yeah.
So
Chain
I've also seen loads that we spot checked, and we've had loads where other drivers have either had to deliver loads for other drivers because they're off or sick or something. We've also seen a lot of loads where on coils, people are ratcheting the ratchet all the way down. So what do you think's gonna happen with that chain? You understand what I'm saying when I talk about the ratchets all the way down? So, driver opens up the trailer and shows me. You can sit there and just shake the chains on the coil. And he had his ratchets cranked all the way down. You can't even tighten them anymore.
But we do need some new ratchet, cause I got something like that. And
Then you're talking about broken. I'm talking about when you go to tighten them down, they're tightening them all the way down. There's not a single thread showing.
Yeah.
I had to go all the way down like that.
That happens from now on.
Change it, right?
That's DOT, 1 inch thread. Tight case.
So,
Hey, guys. Sean has a good point to that, because there's a lot of new drivers that's trying to learn. What was it that you said, Sean?
It's from being lazy or whatever you wanna call it, when you deliver a load and not opening your ratchets all the way back up. So that when you tie down the next one, you have all that extra, extensions to bring in, you know what I mean? If you only have to do it halfway and then you put it on, you take it down, like he had mentioned, then, you're just screwed. But if you give yourself room, when you pull over to a rest area, to a truck stop, you're able to get in, tighten it up, and keep it moving.
But you open the ratchet all the way, one side comes out all the way, the one side only comes out a little bit, then you can't go no more. So then you have to keep going all the way down. So.
You can hold it, it comes
That side out.
on each side, so to where they come off. So we need to do that check. Yeah, he-
Right, I got old right now. Mine
no, we had 30 new ones and they're gone.
I ain't getting under 30 minutes.
Alright, so
I got a couple ratchets like that.
Anthony, send me after me so we can talk
I'm
about
not done, I got still 14 minutes.
So, overall, we did a really good job securing our loads. These are just stuff that's happened with people taking shortcuts in the past, and, 'cause we've had some accidents where the coil didn't move at all because we had it secured right. 'Cause everyone knows how 71 is. You're brake checking that almost every time, no matter what you're trying to do, so.
Yeah.
But just make sure we got guys who overkill load, you'll never hear me complain about that. You wanna throw that extra chain on there, I'm not gonna sit there and say anything to you, I don't care if it takes an extra 5-10 minutes. Just don't shortchange yourself, because if something ever happens, we're gonna have issues on every end, so. 'Cause I don't know about you, but I rather go home safe every night to my family than having that in the back of my mind if, unfortunate fatality happens somewhere, so. So anytime you need, well, apparently we're out of binder, so we know that, but
You gotta know.
we've done a good job of keeping up with our equipment, and when guys need the equipment, we got it. So it sounds like we need to replenish some again, so that's not a problem. That's on both sides, but, primary securements, take the extra time, secure it like you're supposed to. You know, 2 straps in front and rear on skidded coils. I know we're hauling the aluminum ingots, the sows, you know, that could be dangerous too if we don't have that secured right, so. But overall, we do a good job. We just want to point out, this is what can happen when we take the shortcuts and we don't do what we're supposed to do, because that's probably one of the worst ones I've seen since I've been there. I've been there 21 years, so.
I'm really glad you told me, because I didn't know that we weren't supposed to tighten that all the way like that. Like the bracket, I thought we were supposed to tighten it all the way.
They used to leave up.
You are, but potentially, it's gonna take you all the way to the end, you should still have some.
Yeah, you should still have some chain left.
Yeah,
Case you need to tighten
we'll
I
give it.
haven't had any accidents, but I'm learning.
So any questions on anything, I guess, securement, anything, doing a good visual on your trailer? Cause that visual is gonna catch a lot of stuff before it actually breaks sometimes. Cause we've caught quite a few things like that before, so.
Here's one. How much brake pad before you worry about brakes?
I think you should have them checked periodically.
Well, I mean, I check them all the time, but how far down should you wear your brake pads before you
If
wear
you hear it a little bit, a little squeak, you do a good check.
No, you
I
have.
hear remember
The
that.
brake pad got it like, one A or one four. But the new brake pad, they have a flash one. You get close to there, they're gonna move any longer. Yeah.
So the squeak, do we get a check for another squeak?
You get them checked as often as you want to. I will never tell you no.
Just take it to Ryder?
Take it to, if it's a trailer, take it to Ziegler. If it's your truck, take it to Ryder or Penske, whatever kind of truck you're driving. Have them check it. Well,
It sounds like it's the front, mine sounds like it's the front.
sometimes I guess it can be dirt like it is on our cars, but if you have a question and you think it's not right, then please get it checked out.
Okay, so we don't have to call or anything?
No, I will never tell you no. Brakes and tires and lights, I'll never tell you no. You are the eyes of that equipment, and if you feel like something is not right, then let's get
Ryder
it.
tells you no, 'cause I told them for months, I needed new tires, and it would not change, and then I blew out.
Take a picture of them and send them to me, and tell me who you talked to.
Everybody said,
Yeah. Yeah.
Katrina didn't approve it, I got approval before I showed up.
Yeah, well, call me.
Yeah.
While you're standing there, call me and say, Katrina, tell them I'm okay to do this,
I've done.
you know?
That flat I was just talking about, when I took it to Ziegler's, they had told me the axle tires, and looked at those, and they really told me I needed to go ahead and get those replaced, but I had a load on it, and I needed to get that one going, so they replaced them, they replaced 2 of them, but they said 2 in the back.
Then you need to make sure you get them over and get them replaced. When that happens, when you're under the load, and they say you can get by with this, but you really need to get these changed, then you need to make it a point to get back there and get it changed. You're dragging that wagon behind you. You're the one that may have an accident, a blowout. When I tell you, when you have a blowout, you mess up a lot of stuff under a trailer. Mud flaps, lights, wiring. It's awful. Yeah, everything blows off, doesn't it, Nayla? It's a hot mess. So get it, if they tell you that, then you need to make a point to get back over there and get it taken care of. Let Corey know you've gotta get something like that done. Or Tim know.
No, I told him right then and there when I was getting that
Okay.
tire changed, what they said they needed.
Okay. All right, now Tim's up and he's got some important stuff to talk about.
Okay. I want to introduce Jermaine Vasquez. He just started on with us. He's on our broker side. For those of you that don't know, we do have a broker side. We started it in 2019. It's under the Eagle umbrella. It's basically managed in-house, and we're continually trying to grow that. So Jermaine has 20 years of trucking industry experience, most of the flatbed, but happy to have him. He's going to bring some big things for us. I want to touch back on one thing that Katrina said, and this is on the Eagle and the Paragon side. So as I'm approving carriers for our broker side, I can see everything they've ever done. So if their safety's down or their basics, or when I say basics, that's your CSA scores for those that are kind of new into this. So if your unsafe driving is high, or it's trending up or trending down, I see that. And if there's 4 big basics when a broker or a customer looks at carriers. And if those are all four pointing down in the downward trend and they are above the threshold of their group, it makes you think twice about using them, okay? So unsafe driving, if somebody has a, 15 over, well, it goes in that category. If somebody has some fitness issues, it says driver fitness. Well, what that is maybe they didn't have their CDL with them or they didn't have the right paperwork. There's four big ones that pop out. And there's times that I tell a carrier, if I'm looking at two carriers, and this happens, it's happened recently, if I'm looking at two carriers for one load, I'm gonna take the safest carrier, even though this carrier might be in business a lot longer. As long as everything else is comparable, I'm gonna take the safest carrier. So that's what we go against at times. So when we're going for new customers, or we're trying to increase our capacity with customers, for example, Corey and I did a conference call, and Chris was on there as well. We did a conference call with one of the biggest steel companies in the world, and they're trying to increase our capacity. Well, the good thing is we're both very, very safe when it comes to Peregrine and Eagle. And the other thing he looks at, and he said this on our call today, was when you pick up a load, you deliver the load on time. So that is critical. Now, we talk about time, and time is important for you guys. But please let me stress this. I've been doing this for 23 years, actually going on 24 years. Take the little time to do the extra. Because what you do on the front end will help you on the back end. Do the pre-trip. She's giving you 15 minutes. It might take 20 minutes. It might take 25 minutes. Do it right. Make sure you go over. When it's dark, when most of you guys are starting, and gals, it might take 20 or 25 minutes because it's dark. I've been over at Eagle. I know on the back side we've added lights, but for some reason on the front side it could be darker. At DKP, it's like pitch dark over on the tree line. Take a little bit longer. Penske, Ryder, it doesn't matter where you park at. You always need to. When you go to a truck stop, and this is mostly for over the road, but even to some of the Eagle guys, when you go to a truck stop and you go in, you might buy something. When you come back out, do you do a walk around? You should. You should do a walk around. And I'm going to tell you why. Maybe not 30 years ago, maybe not even 20 years ago. But now, there's too much stuff going on. There's guys getting dope put in their trucks and their trailers, and then they're going to follow them. Be careful. It's wild out there. They do human trafficking. Trust me. If you don't think they can put a person in your Conestoga, it's already been done. Okay? So if you go to a truck stop, and you go inside, and you come out, just do a walk around. Raise up that back tail flap. Make sure nothing's in there. It's going to save you some time. Okay? I'm not telling you nothing that's some mythical thing. It's true. So just take a little bit of time on every end where you're at. If you are doing coils, I know Eagle does a ton of coils. I know you guys are really good at it, and y'all stress it. And Peregrine, we do it at times. When you do, it's okay to check those chains as much as you can. I saw, David's been in this a long time. I think you're one of the most tenured drivers here, right? How long have you been doing this? 16, and Kenny's 17, right? We got a couple drivers on the Peregrine side that's been doing it for over 30 years. Paul, what, 60?
70.
How are you now? 65, 60? You've been doing it like 33 years, like 35, would you tell me? How long have you been doing this?
Driving?
Yeah. 48 years.
48 years.
So I'm sure Kenny and David, and I know Paul has, 'cause I think we talked about it. When a coil goes through that trailer because it's not done right, or it goes out the backside or the side, and it kills somebody or kills the driver, there's a lot of families impacted by that. A lot of families. So do it right in the first place. That's all we want to know. Look, we can get new business. Trust me. We've been dealing with it for a lot of years. Ford is down right now, but they're going to pop back up. You know why? Because people need trucks. People need vehicles. It's going to come back up. They was up 21% last month. They was down like 15% in January. Okay? They're showing up this month. So they're going to continue to rebound. Other companies are going to rebound. But if we have to change customers, if we get another customer, it's fine. We can't change you. Okay? We can't go to I don't want to go to a wife or a husband or your significant other or your brothers or your sisters or your mom. I've had to do this and say, they're not coming home. It's not pleasant. It's I've done it, I think, 3 or 4 times, and the most unpleasant conversation I've ever had in my life. Okay, so our goal, everybody in here, is to get you home safely and get the general public home safely. Okay? So the only thing I want to stress is do it right the first time, do it ahead, go do those pre-trips, do the post-trips. Yes, if something comes up, my guys, Terry and Sean and I don't want to, Amy, all of you. We have some really good ones that will call Katrina and say, hey, I got a light out. Like she said, Landon did that this week. Yes, we was able to get him a trailer. We might not. You know, we might miss a load. And you know what, that sucks. It really does. But at least you get home safe. Okay? Is there any questions for me from Peregrine or Eagle, or on the broker side, that you need from me? You need any questions? No? All right. God bless you guys. Thank you. It's before my time.
See? Good for you. Good job, Tim. Thank you. All right, guys. I am, you all are dismissed. Don't forget to get a cookie. Oh, no, wait a minute. We're doing door prizes. Elena, let's pull names.
Oh, one more thing.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Peregrine, this is for our local. You guys do a great job, and there's no finger pointing, but make sure that since you slip seat a lot, make sure the tool stays with the truck and trailer. If you find paperwork in the truck from the night before, make sure it gets into a folder but not wadded up and put in with everything else. Let's all be grown here and just make sure it gets in there, because we want to make sure that load gets billed and we want to make sure it gets done right. If there's garbage left in it from the night before or the morning before when you get to your shift, take a picture of it and send it to me. And then here's a novel idea, just throw it in the garbage can, okay? Just throw it in the garbage can. That way we'll deal with it directly, okay? Thank you, appreciate you.
Thank you, Tim.